Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is one that actually ended me up covered in highlighter, but I really wanted to do it because when I saw the actual product on Facebook, I kind of cried a little inside. So basically, my head is like cut off. Basically, Lancome have come out with a new highlighter for this year, and it is basically just a rose in a box. And on this rose you have highlighter particles all over the little, well, they call it illuminating powder. You have illuminating powder over the petals of the rose, and you're supposed to just be able to use it like a regular highlighter, but it's got like a massive price of $60 just for literally a flower in a box covered in powder. So I thought I would give my own a go and ended up coming up with this. So mine's actually got 3 roses in, not just one, and I think that's what makes mine a bit better. Mine doesn't have a pink rose in it, mine is just all like white creamy ones, and mine is also covered in illuminating powder. So if you want to see how I made that, then stick around because it was quite fun. I did get covered. I'm actually still covered. Oh, you still can't see, but I've got like highlighter everywhere. But this was the finished product, and I actually really like it. I think it's really cute. And once you've seen how I made it, we will go on to actually using it. So you're going to need a couple things to make this highlighter, and I managed to pick mine up reasonably cheap. So I've got one of these little tubs here that kind of just looks like the box it came in. It's got like a little piece of paper in that'll just add like, I don't know, something to it to make it look a little bit better. But I got this with my cooking magazines and stuff like that. So if you can't find one that's round or anything like that, you can just probably use any sort of tub and it'll work. But I wanted mine to look like super snazzy, so we're using that. Then you need a highlighter that you're not too worried about. This one is my Makeup Revolution London Baked highlighter. And I've only recently just got this, but I do love it. It's the one that I've most recently used, and I feel like that would go well with the colour that I got. So these are my roses. Now, the one that they used was light pink, I believe, but I couldn't find a light pink rose that matched. Also, they are smaller than the one that you receive when you buy the Lancome one, purely because I think theirs obviously isn't, it might be a real rose, but it isn't like fresh as this sort of real, because they're a lot bigger, and obviously they've got preservatives and stuff on them to make sure that the flower doesn't die. Mine are like on their way out dying as it is. These cost me I think £2 something, but they're all really pretty, and I've just got to pick a couple to go in this box. So I didn't know whether I was going to just use one, because if you see, that's quite a big, like, I can't think of the word, circumference? The circumference of this is quite big, and we haven't got any roses to just like fill this part. So you're going to take some scissors and pick a rose. I think I'm going to go for this one. So this is like the biggest looking one I possibly have to go in there. Now you just chop it off up here. It just like completely fell on the floor. So now you're left with just like the little head. Now I'm just going to pop that in there just so you can see. Like, it's too big when it's standing up, and it's not big enough when it's flattened out. So I'm just going to spread the flower petals out. It's really awkward because I can't show you very easily, but I'm just literally just spreading them out. And I think I'm going to chop off this little knobbly bit on the bottom. Okay, that pinged like over there. So I'm just trying to like spread these petals out so it fills up as much of the container as possible. I know this is really awkward. I will try and add like a better view in. But once it's stretched out to cover most of the box, that's when you know you're getting somewhere. The only problem I have with this is I think the actual rose is too big. Yeah, it's ever so slightly too big, but it doesn't matter. So now we have our pretty little rose in our container. I might decide to add another one, maybe. So I'm taking another one, doing the same routine, chopping off the end, so you're left with that, and then stick it in and spread them out. You can use as many of these as you want, just putting them in there, because at the end of the day you're getting the product off the petals. So that's what mine is looking like so far. You just got to spread the petals out and try and get like as many opened up as possible, because at the end of the day that is where your highlighter is going to be staying. So if we take out this little one, you can see that that one's not quite as big as it needs to be. It's not quite filling it. So I can just add the second one if and when I need to. Hopefully the lighting is a lot better in this video, because I've got like both lights on now. We're slowly getting somewhere with this, I promise. Right, so we'll just take the first flower again. Now what you need to do is get your highlighter. This is kind of a sad part. If you've got a spare container laying around, that will probably help. And then you need something to like scrape the highlighter off. So we've all seen this before. This is my lovely little black knife here. And what you want to do is get your flower. See, I was going to do it with something other than roses, but I did want to stick to it as close as possible. And then you're just going to like scrape little bits off and onto your flower. Remember, you've got to get a lot of highlighter all up in these petals. The Lancome one did look slightly like not very pigmented, but then they're not known for a very like, they're known for the subtle highlighters and subtle blushes. They're not known for like caking your face in it with these bright neon colours or whatever. So you just keep going. It's like it's snowing. My legs are getting covered in highlighter. This obviously isn't going to be as fancy as their one, but when you're on a budget, what else can you do? I'm wasting like a whole highlighter doing this. So mine's actually resting in my spare tub right now, but it has got highlighter all over it. I'm trying not to shake it too much because it's all in here and it's actually all in the bottom container. If I pick this flower up right now, tip it upside down, I bet you most of it's just gonna, yeah, it's just falling out of the middle bit. So spread these petals out again. Remember, it's the petals that you're supposed to be brushing to get all this highlighter. Why is it that I can't just like leave things to be nice? I have to just mess things up. Nice new highlighter. Oh yeah, let's stab a knife in that and then just put it on a flower. Because that's a great way to use the makeup that I've got. Just put it on a flower. And that is pretty much how you make your own, oh dear, DIY rose highlighter. I'll turn it around so you can see. Obviously I've only kept the one in there, but if you look at that carefully you might be able to see some of the highlighter just like resting on it. But obviously I can just chuck this other one in there and then have two if I so desire. I'm not sure if I'm going to yet. Sorry, this is all like a bit hoo-ha. I didn't really plan waking up this early to do this morning. But if you want to add a second flower, as I said, it's very easy. You just kind of repeat the process. Because I think it's rather expensive for what you're actually getting. Because at the end of the day, it is just a flower. with highlighter on top, I feel like you'd get a lot more for your money. Bearing in mind, I think they said it was $60. But now look how pretty that looks. Now they're all in there. So now all of mine are in there. I think this is how I'm going to keep it, with 3. I'm going to dust the rest off with my highlighter. And I know this is a really awkwardly filmed video. I apologise for that. I apologise that you can't see what I'm doing right now. But you get the gist of what I'm doing. You really can't mess this part up. If someone manages to, then I'm sorry. My instructions were not clear. Take your highlighter, take your scrapey thing, and scrape out that highlighter. Put it all over the petals. Make sure as much of it is covered as possible, so that when you pick up your little brush, you're gonna actually get some highlighter on there. Admittedly, with my one, you can see the highlighter a lot better, I guess, than if you were going to use the actual one. But I think this looks cute. That is my finished product. That right there, my hands are absolutely covered in highlighter. I really don't know whether this was worth it or not. But that's what you get. I hope you enjoyed that really bad video of me making that. It was slightly more difficult than I thought, only having myself to help myself record because somebody else is not here right now to help me. So I'm using my little Makeup Revolution face brush, I think it was. This is the limited edition one. And you just go in and swirl around the petals just like their one. You can see that there's quite a lot of product coming off mine though. And then use it as per normal. And the good thing about making your own one is that you can use whatever highlighter, illuminating powder, blush, whatever one you want, and that way you know that the colour payoff and the pigment is going to be on point, rather than wasting, you know, $60 on something that's not going to give you what you want. So most of the product actually ends up down in the cracks. Down in the cracks. But I can say that I am quite happy that I have only spent about £3-4 on this whole thing, and it's just so cute. I will put some better pictures up on my Twitter and Instagram of this because I love it. Good thing is you can use whatever highlighter you want. Bad thing is they are flowers. They are probably going to end up dead at some point. But now you can see that you can just put the highlighter on your face. I hope that it's picking it up with the new lights. I'm not entirely sure if it's going to look okay. That's my whole worry. I really was excited for this video, and now what if it's just ruined by my lights? But I hope you enjoyed today's video. I know it's a little bit different to what we usually do, but I really wanted to show off these little flower highlighters because Lancome have come out with it, obviously. And I just think it's a really good idea to make your own. It's quite fun. It's very pretty. I could just have this out on the side and people will be like, oh, that's cute, what's that? And I'll be like, oh, it's my flower highlighter. But yeah. Don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up if you liked seeing this. I can do some more little crafty makeup videos if that's what you want. Just ask, I don't mind. I actually found this really fun, frustrating, but worth it in the end. All I'm just looking at is the clumps of highlighter that are just sitting in this flower that I can't use. I actually scraped it bare. There's nothing left there. If you haven't already, make sure to hit that subscribe button because I've got a lot more good videos coming this year and I hope everyone sticks around to see them. I'm now going to go take 1001 photos of my new rose highlighter.